What's up, guys? We're taking a look today at integer subtraction rules, which has the quick code QZA. And I like to use a number line, or at least visualize one in my head when I solve these. So I'm going to actually show you how to do these on a number line. You obviously can do this on a pencil and paper, but there's also a pretty good number line app. If you just hop onto Google and look for number line, you'll probably find this same one. You can kind of drag around and make little marks and stuff, which might help you solve some of these problems easily because you can visualize what you're doing. So this first one says is -1 minus 25, positive or negative. Now, what I have to think through here is if I'm starting at -1, subtraction is going to move me to the left on the number line, and then addition is going to move me to the right on the number line, since subtraction makes me more negative and addition makes me more positive. So if I start at -1, which is right over here, and I'm moving to the left, subtracting 25, 1, 2, 3, 4, I don't really have to keep going all the way to 25 to realize that this is going to make me even more negative than I was when I started. So there's my answer. Is 4 minus -5 positive or negative? This is where students tend to get tripped up because I've got 1, 2 negatives with each other. These negatives, one way of thinking about this is that they like cancel out, but really what I'm doing, if I'm subtracting a negative, then I am subtracting in the opposite direction, which means I'm really going to be adding or moving to the right. So another way of writing this is 4 plus a positive 5. So if I start at 4 and then add 5, look at this great drawing, then that definitely leaves me in an even more positive place. Another way of visualizing this, if you'd like to, is to use one of these little guys. This is my favorite thing. Boom. Start with 4, add 5, and I land at 9, so it's still going to be positive. -58 is super negative, minus a -56. Just like we saw in the last one, when you're subtracting a negative, it's the same as going to be adding a positive. I would be moving to the left, but in the other direction, which is moving to the right. Well, if I change this to a -58 and adding a positive, -58 is all the way down here, but if I add 56, I'm still going to be at -2, and that means I'm still going to be not quite crossing the 0, and I won't be in the positive. I'll still be stuck in the negative. Let's do 3 more. -26 minus 11. So that means that I'm starting in a negative space, and then I'm moving even more negative because I'm subtracting a positive number. Subtracting a positive number is the same as adding a negative number. And adding a negative number and subtracting a positive number, both are going to move me to the left, starting at -26 and moving this way. Let's go ahead and drag ourselves. This is working super well. Well, once upon a time, Miss Chun knew how to move this the other way. But nonetheless, we're going to have a negative result. -3 is where I'm starting, and then I'm subtracting a -21. Since I'm subtracting a negative, I can go ahead and make that adding a positive, which means that I'll start at -3 and then move to the right by 21 since I'm moving in the positive direction. That's going to land me in the positive space. Using these rules, it should be easy for you to then subtract integers a little bit later on, but the key thing to remember here is this. If you are adding a negative, you're moving to the left. If you're subtracting a positive, you're moving to the left. One negative sign is going to move it to the left. But anytime you're subtracting a negative, when you've got both of those symbols together, you're really adding a positive because that's going to flip it again. And that means you'll be moving to the right. So here, 51 plus 9. Think through whether that be positive or negative. You'll easily get to a smart score of 80. Good luck.